Hi, it's still the month of March and we're still celebrating women. You know, if you have not celebrated any woman, you do not celebrate during Mother's Day, you do not celebrate during Women's International Day. Why? Women are the core, the value, and everything that we need to actually thrive here on planet Earth. My name is Faith Martins. Welcome to Serenity TV. Because we're still celebrating our women, we do have quite a number of women who are going through tough situations in their homes, in relationships. And today's conversation is going to center on those women. Today, I am being joined by a woman advocate, a child support advocate, someone who has done so well for herself in the media field. And I cannot use words to quantify her achievement. I'm just going to allow her to tell us more. I'm being joined today by the beautiful, delectable Harriet.
Thank you very much, Faith Martins.
Thank you.
All right, my name is Harriet Ijoma. I am a development journalist. I am the managing director of Haskell Media and Communication, a development media organization in the Southeast that writes stories that revolves around women development, gender-based violence, climate change, and youth empowerment. So there are lots about me, but one thing I love to do so much is, encourage young women, especially young graduates, to strive more, to understand that the world is a very big space that could contain every gender, notwithstanding the social and cultural pressure that comes with it.
Amazing. You wear so many feathers, and it's such, honestly, it's
Thank
such
you.
a sight to behold, a beautiful sight to behold. Why? Because we do have lots of young women who are not quite fine-tuned as to the direction they should go. But here you are literally figuring it out in your career, and it's so amazing.
course.
So how did you get to this particular stage? Just before we delve into our topic, how did you get to this point where you've literally figured out that this is what you want to do?
Okay, I could really say that feminism have a very strong role and impact in my life. Even for a very long time, striving through trying to emerge in a career that is predominated by the male flux. It's not an easy one, especially coming from an environment, a cultural environment where women are mostly subjugated. It's not an easy one, but we thank God. But I must always say that feminism have a great role in my life. At some point, I didn't know, especially while I was in school, I didn't really know much about that particular word, feminism, but I was actually working on that. Everything that revolves around me, whatever I'm doing, connotes in that area that I'm somebody who, notwithstanding the gender, wants to do a lot of things without even looking or allowing the pressure and all whatnot that comes around culture, society, and all the rest of it. I keep moving. I don't believe in so many things that
Yeah, that's
Yes.
amazing. I mean, from what you're saying, I could wrap my head around the fact that you're not someone who would want to stay and probably expects the societal standards and
Yes,
understanding to
yes.
sort of wear you this blanket of some sort.
Of course, a lot of times, when people try to crave or craft out an opinion about me, I just tell them that I don't really care about what people think. As far as within my conscience, within my personality, what I'm doing, I'm on the right track. And right from the time I have been growing up, striving through university, masters, in my career, moved from from a blogger to the news print media, from the print media to the broadcast media, from the broadcast media now as a media aide, and then as a managing director of a development media
Wow.
organization,
Wow.
right? I have never let what people think, people's opinion, especially in my field, in the choosing career media, or as a journalist. There are a lot of, especially when you are female, there are a lot of mindset. There are a lot of stories that revolves, people
yeah.
crave out, people carve out of that particular area concerning the career you've chosen. There are a lot of things people say about people. So I have never let all those things weigh me down. I keep going because it's one thing for a woman to strive in the society we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
But notwithstanding, I am I wanted to say I am rugged,
Yeah.
and I am rugged in that
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah.
So I don't really care. I don't let what people say drive me, because it's what it's going to only do is to put fear in you, is to stigmatize you, which I always believe that fear is not the major drive.
Amazing.
So for you to grow, for you to strive, for you to improve yourself as a woman, there are some certain, you need to project yourself as Azuanoka before you could get there as
What
a
did
woman.
you say now?
Azuanoka.
What does that mean in English?
Okay, it means that, like, just like I stated earlier, like, you don't care, you would practically avoid whatever people assume, you don't hear whatever anybody is saying, so you're just moving on with it. So
Amazing. Well. So I really, like, honestly, amazingly love what you have done for yourself.
Before I move on, this is what I always try to imbibe in any young woman or young lady that I meet, or somebody I feel like I'm above in a little way. Not to say I'm above in physical, but some way that
Of
I'm
course.
doing
Intellectually,
this
knowledge-wise,
is what
yeah.
I do to speak to young people to follow that track, because it has really helped me.
Amazing.
Yeah,
This
thank
is really,
you.
really nice. Thank you so much. So today's conversation is going to revolve around what you just said. Like I said, we celebrated Women's Day recently,
course.
Mother's Day recently, and we had lots of people.
March is the month of women.
It's just the month of women, and
Yes.
it's really nice that we're having this conversation in the month of March.
Of course.
Lots of people, celebrated their mothers. Some celebrated their sisters. Others celebrated their wives. And it's beautiful to see all of the lovely captions that we get to see. Even women celebrated other women.
Yes.
However, we spoke about women in different and diverse ways. And I'm so sure that we also spoke about women who are currently victims of domestic abuse.
Okay.
However, I don't think we have been able to pinpoint the reason as to why women are still in abusive relationships.
Okay.
Relationships where they're physically manhandled, relationships where they're emotionally destroyed, relationships where their mental health is being threatened as often as possible.
Okay.
We've talked about it on media, we've talked about it anywhere we can, but unfortunately, we still have women dominating, not really dominating, but still remain in those situations. So my question to you, as someone who has been in that space, I'm sure you've met with lots of women who have had to deal with, domestic abuse, and some who have found the courage to leave. So my question to you is, what can we really do to get women out of domestic relationships? How best can we sound it and tell them that you can actually get out and everything will be well?
Okay. First of all, a lot of problems that has to do with women started from the formation age, the formation stage. It starts from what the society has imbibed, culture, religion, and then social belief. So you can't take away these three things out. And, they say people are, there is something, why social studies would always say, there's a way they explain it that culture is the way, people's way of life, the way they dress, what they eat, all of that, the languages they speak. So a lot of times, why, as regards to your question, we need to look at why before I can now talk about how people can get out of it. Because you can't, in Igbo language, anasi onye na amaghị ebe mmiri shiri mara ya cannot explain. It's just like, I don't know if I really stated, but if you don't know where your history starts, you can't know how it's going to end. So for you to understand, come to that aspect, the question, just like you asked, is why do women still remain in abusive relationship and marriage, even with their awareness, even with whatever it is? One, social, religion, and culture. When a girl is growing up, like when you give birth to a girl, there are some certain statements that have started, you know, even from childbirth. When you go to visit a mother of a girl child that they just put to bed, you see someone say, "Hey, nwa m ga-alụ gị," without even waiting or trying to find out if the girl really wants to get married
To start
but
with.
to start with. You've not even, you know, given this person time, this child time. You've already connote and, you know, carve out that child and assume that she's going to get married. And there is this culture of onye mụrụ mmadụ, we also mụpụta onye ọzọ. So when you say because in the religion, I'm going to the biblical quotes now, where they say
going
marriage,
to the world and multiply or something.
Yes, or multiply. So women are trained from the formation age to practically depend on marriage. Like they build their institution, their world. That's why a woman is asked to sit in a certain way, dress in a certain way. You know, you don't know if you behave this way, nobody will marry you. Even at a very tender age. They are not even teaching you, because that is what should be, or morally or whatever.
Expected of you as a human being.
They are teaching you because they are molding you for
the man that will marry you,
and for the marriage and for the relationship. That is why. And now cultural stigmatization, with all those things that has been taught, a girl child have been taught, that child has grown up from her teenage age to her university age. Go to see, if you should carry out a data now, ask number of university female students what you want to do after school, even without discovering themselves. I could bet you 70 or 80% of them would say they want to get married without even discovering themselves. So this is what religion, and the moment you say, even at this time, when you say you don't want to get married, people have assumed you as a witch. People have already assumed you are an evil child. So without looking at the human, without looking at the emotional trauma around it. So these are the causes. People, and again, dependency. Because a woman is molded to depend on the male. So you see something like Wanyana does generator, Wanyana agba ball, all those things that deals with physical strength. Yes, we understand that when it comes to physical energy, the man could have more than the female. But that is not to say that there are women who cannot do that. Do you understand? So when you start putting that in a female child, and she's growing up with it, that's what see, there are some character you can't leave. Unless because you revolve, you started reading books, you started following people.
And it's going to take time. You're evolving. It's going to take way more time.
Exactly. You start questioning some certain things. Even while you're questioning some certain things, sometimes you will ask yourself, is this what is right? Even me as a feminist, sometimes I come up and try to, but because of I have read and understand that this is my right. I am an adult. Even without being an adult, there are some certain things one should know as a female. So now, you see, our parents too, because of what the child have seen in that, is not only women that are being abused in marriage, men too are abused in marriage, but the percentage is high in women. Now, men, look at the situation of men. Men don't report abuse because of that same formation,
society
the
has also
ego that has been, you are a man up. Even when you're dying, you will pretend you stay there and die.
Exactly.
Because of that, the culture and the religion is the problem. And the word capitalism and patriarchy is built to subjugate women.
Yeah.
Honestly. So when a woman is in that state, for instance, you've grown up to understand that without marriage, you are not even your fellow women will be asking you, when will you get married?
Yeah.
They will be counting your age for you.
They'll even use it as an insult. So in situations where you have not married, like you have not gotten married, and you're wondering, this person that is talking about marriage.
Get married though before menopause will come.
Exactly.
Even a lot of people. So because marriage is the central thing that is used to train a girl child, they will not be willing to leave their marriages. Do you understand?
Even when they are being abused.
Yes. They will rather, okay, let me come out so that what would they say? So that they will not say I'm a good woman. So that, because a lot of times women are built to please others, not even to please themselves. What you're doing, are you doing it for your own benefit? Check a lot of things our mothers did. They didn't even do it for themselves. They did it for their children, for their family, and for their husbands. Yes. Most mothers can practically tell you that they didn't do a lot of things for their own self. Do you understand? So this is how, if you don't marry, even you that is looking at me now, if some people, that mindset is still there. So they can, even the strongest woman, you see, a lot of women who are even feminists, when they wanted to leave, it took a lot of time. If they should tell their story, it took them a lot of time before they could come to their realization that, man, I have to leave this abusive marriage. And most of the times, why they can't leave is because they can't afford to leave. Because you will get married, you're not doing anything. You're not working.
Yeah.
Do you understand? All your dependents depend on the man. So how will you live when the area in which you earn your money is your husband? So your life depends on him. So you now calculate all the seliwe you've done.
Exactly.
You don't want to, how will I live now? How am I going to cope? How will I meet up? So that lack of independence in women, because you don't have a job, you grow up collecting from men, your mindset, you're not working. You depend practically on your husband. So when the man starts abusing you, how are you going to live? You can't live. See, let me tell you, there's something I always tell people. Men know who they abuse.
Word.
Men,
No
they know
words.
who they abuse. How many men go and slap Dora Akunyere now? Or you meet a woman that knows her standards, that knows her, like I use myself as a, come and abuse me now. No, men know who they abuse. They know those that are very vulnerable to them.
Exactly.
And that is why they would always use, that is why a lot of men cannot cope with a woman that is very dependent.
Yeah.
You know why? Because the only thing they have in control of is the money. So I was going through, let me deviate a bit. I was going through a post recently where some men say they can't take their women abroad. Why you're saying you can't take a woman abroad? Because the woman don't have the money. If it is a woman that is working, she can travel abroad, go and come back. Even you're going, she's using her money to join you there.
Exactly.
So you're saying that as if the woman is a child.
Exactly.
If a woman can provide for herself, she will have power. Or
she will have choices.
Yes. But when she look at, oh, my children, how will I take care of her? And I thank God for women of today. Most women of today, they will leave the children for you. You take care of them. There are so many men now that are taking care of children. How many people is abusing them, calling them single father? Nobody. Because the element of patriarchy and capitalism is to subjugate women. So these are the roots. These are the root cause. The moment, and a lot of women, they can be dependent, but they have not revolved.
True.
They have not revolved. Trauma, they are still working with the trauma their mother faced. they will tell you in Igbo adage, they will tell you something like Ugunwa Iwudia. How can Ugunwa have you seen where men are counting? It's not like have you seen where men are counting marriage as an achievement? Why should I?
When there are other things for you to count.
As achievement.
Their businesses.
On daily basis, I tell people marriage is not an achievement.
Yeah, but
For me,
I actually think if you actually get married to someone who is really kind and the both of you have something really good going for yourself,
it all depends on
it should
what
be
you
an achievement.
see as an achievement.
That's true though.
I don't see marriage as an achievement.
Based.
How many men will count marriage as an achievement? How many men go say, I marry, I achieve, put marriage on there? They won't. Not to say that it's some sort of competition, but I don't care if it is a competition. Yes, I don't care. So how many men would count marriage as none of them would. For me, marriage is not an achievement. Whether you marry a perfect person, whether it's just like counting being a sibling with somebody as an achievement. You would have counted your friendship as an achievement. Do you count your friendship with someone as an achievement? That you met someone, you people tag along together, a girlfriend, let me use it per se. Do you count that as an achievement? You don't count it as an achievement. So why would I be in a partnership relationship and I'm counting it as an achievement? Why don't you put it up in your CV? Nobody put up marriage in their CV.
Anymore. They used to before.
Yes. I don't know if they used to, but nobody put it up as an achievement. Nobody will even look at how many times you gave birth. So these are it. So people remain in abusive marriage because of their mindset, because of how they are trained to be. So by the time, I thank God for some of the teachings that have been coming up by a lot of women, feminist women, talking to women, that you don't need to remain in that abusive marriage. If you stay there, you will die.
I like the fact that you've been able to cover the most important factors that I think are reasons why women still remain in abusive marriages. One of it, like you said, is societal constraints and societal conditioning, which is really bad. Most especially
which is the major reason.
Exactly. What people would say has never done anybody any form of good. And that's one of the problems. Let me not leave because I don't know what people are going to say. Because those people are going to definitely watch you die.
If Osinachi would have lived, why didn't she leave? Society. Osinachi remained in her marriage, society, because she's a gospel singer. If I leave, some people will say, Mama, I'm following you. Don't follow my footstep. Because I'm me.
Exactly.
So that you don't use your standard to measure me. Tomorrow you say I disappointed you.
I'm not anybody's mentor.
Do you understand?
Look up to me.
That's not to say that you can't be mentors to people.
Of course.
Do you understand? But when you start living by societal standard, you wound yourself and you will never achieve anything. I'm telling you. When you say, because let me tell you, there's a lot of decision I took on my own while I was in the my dad wanted me to go to IMSU. I said I will not go to IMSU because I am a domestic lazy person. I don't like cooking. I don't like sweeping. I don't like doing all that. So my mom was owns a restaurant. So I said because I've watched my elder siblings, what they do, they will go from IMSU, first of all, they will go to the shop and clean up the place. Then they will go to school. Because of that, as a lazy person, I said I will not go to IMSU. My dad said he will not pay my school fees. I went to APSU, wrote my aptitude test. What do they call it? Is it aptitude test?
UTME?
Yes. I wrote it. I passed. So when my dad I said, okay, my dad said, hey, APSU is expensive, this, that. I called one of my uncle. Then I have collected my acceptance slip. I called one of my uncle. He now helped me then and paid my acceptance fee. My dad had no choice than to pay. And today, my younger sister went to the same school. So if I had stayed, maybe I might have not, because of my mindset then, because I really wanted to focus on studies and not to, I wouldn't have been where I am. So a lot of times you take your decisions out of will without listening or care. Okay, there is this story now of this abuse I saw on TikTok. The sister's name is Ezine. The sister left an abusive marriage. then her younger sister remained in their abusive marriage, and the husband killed her.
Aye.
Or because of 5,000 naira or something. The husband beat her to death. Why didn't she leave the marriage? Because her elder sister left.
So she didn't want people to now tag the family
yes,
as people
before
that
you know it,
leave
they will say that family is cursed.
No.
So look at me now. By next year, I will become 30. I'm not married. Until if I don't see a man that has the same belief with me, a man that craves same mindset with me, I always tell people I will rather remain single and happy than married and sad. That is what I tell people.
But that's something lots of people are yet to clock in on. And that's really sad.
Yes, because it takes boldness. It takes understanding to live out of the world. Because whatever happened, the world will move on.
Exactly.
Whatever happens to you, if you remain in abusive marriage, whatever happens tomorrow, the world will move on. People will eat, even those mourning you.
Yeah, they are there for the rice now. And
we eat. On that day, you will die. They will be begging you.
Yeah.
Say, hey, okay, you will still eat. And you see the justice system in Nigeria.
It's corrupt.
At the end of the day, they might not even get justice. We will all post on social media. We will all chat. We will all
all laugh.
We will all laugh. At the end of the day, you might not even get justice. They will not say, rest in peace to you.
It is what it is. And it's pathetic. However,
but what I'm trying to say is we should start training our children to have choice of their own.
Yeah.
We should start training maybe this generation that is coming up, start training your girl child to be dependent. Start teaching your child that your world does not revolve on a man. Teach your girl child on how to decenter men.
Especially the part where you mentioned on discovery. Let's explore that a little bit.
Okay.
You said something about women ought to discover themselves even before they latch onto a relationship or marriage particularly. Yes. So I understand what that means in different scenarios. Understand that means for you to have something you're doing, know who you are, know how financially buoyant you are. Because one of the reasons you said people still remain in abusive relationship is because they are not financially buoyant. And one of the things I've come to understand when domestic violence cases are being brought up.
Mind you, even women who have money are abused.
I know that. But then again, for those women, there are choices. And they have more choices to pick from.
That's when society comes in.
Exactly. That's where society comes in. But it's much more difficult for women who do not have any financial means to leave that relationship.
Okay.
And more than leaving that relationship, is also discovery, which you've also highlighted. Yes. There is how you discover yourself, right? There's how you know who you are, what you like, how you're able to block your ears to some certain things. Yes. Even though I think family will play a very terrible role in situations like that. Even when you've discovered who you are and you're blocking out the noise from the society, the voice of the family might be way stronger.
In terms of discovery, sorry to cut you short. In terms of discovery, if women, that is because women are trained to give out. Yeah. Especially in the society, in African society, women are trained to give out. In terms of discovery, you must love yourself. Because if I have to love myself and you called me for this podcast, if I'm not available or if I'm not disposed to come here, I'll tell you I can't come. Not because I wanted to please you. Yeah. Because it's me. I'm free. So if we understand, if women learn to love themselves, understand that if I should go into this marriage, am I getting married because I want to get married? Do you understand? Do I want to get married? Am I ready for this? Am I getting married because I want to marry this man? My family is in debt so that he's very rich, so that he can help me to pay. Am I getting married because in my family, I'm the first daughter. I need to get married. Am I getting married because my mother and your uncle are family friends? We need to tie family wealth. Is it why I'm getting married? Why do I want to get married? Is it to fulfill my purpose? Am I getting married? Do we clock? Both in terms of career, do you understand me? Would you understand when I'm sitting at home relaxing? Would you understand that it's okay for a woman to be? Would you be able to help me? Would you also? These are things. So by the time you understand and start loving yourself, you would understand that there are things you can't do. I can't risk my life because I want to see me in relationship. When I discover you're nothing that falls into, I don't care. I don't mind going into relationship today and leaving tomorrow. You can say whatever you want to say, as far as it doesn't align with what I want. So by the time we start understanding that, forgetting the clock, the age clock that people are ticking for you. People are getting, look at Rita Domi, she got married at the age of 45. I think about. 45. She got married at the age of 45. I don't know.
Maybe
don't want
40, 45
yes,
or something.
Around that. I don't want to quote out of context.
Yeah.
So is she not happy?
She is.
So you don't have to, even, that is when you fight. So within that time you're waiting for your Mr. Right or whatever, use that time to discover yourself. Use that time to know what you want. Don't just sit there. I know somebody, a cousin sister, who got depressed because she's not married. So you just sit down thinking, getting lazy. Hey, no man has married me. These are societal stigmatization. Because you are born doing around. Because if you discover yourself, I'm busy. Okay, somebody like me, I have a lot of things I'm doing. I don't even remember whether I have to be in a relationship. That doesn't mean I don't meet people.
Yeah.
But I don't have to bother. So that is that self-discovery. You need to understand yourself. You need to know where you're going to. Even though you want to get married immediately, you need to understand that I come first. That if my body is not okay to give birth, I need to understand that if I don't give birth, I am not under pressure for me not to give. It's something, because we are building a family. Family is between two people.
Yeah.
We need to work towards to process how we can have a child. If there is issues in the marriage, we need to work together. It's not a centralized thing that I have.
The woman.
This is when emotionally and psychologically a woman is so bothered. That is when that emotional pressure will come abuse. The family member is abusing you. But when you understand that this thing, now two people, they do to come to that. No, but if sister-in-law this, you say, go and tell your brother. We are both in this marriage together. So when you understand some certain things, you will not allow some pressures to weigh you down. So, but you must understand. You must understand yourself. You must understand that the society have moved way past of a lot of things that is going on. So these are things we need to look into, and we need to keep preaching. A lot of times I see them, it's not their fault. Yes, it's not their fault. A lot of times when women come to share their stories, people mock them. It's not their fault. A lot of them, their family will say, don't come back to my house. It's just like me as an adult like me. Maybe if I find myself in an abusive marriage, my family will say, don't come, because I don't have money to rent house. If I don't get money to, I would go to my friend's house and stay. Do you understand? So these are things you need to understand, that say, I have a lot of friends that they've been married and they're divorced and they got married again. Wow. They are doing perfect. They left the abusive marriage they were into. And then it wasn't even up to a year. They got married. So you must understand that, man, if he no work, he no work. If he didn't day.
Exactly.
So is that you leave. Don't bother what people are saying. Because no matter whatever you do on this earth, people must talk.
So the conversation is you today, but it will be somebody else tomorrow.
Yes.
And it's important that you clock in on that. I just want to say thank you so much, Harriet.
Thank you very much.
This was very in-depth.
Sorry, no verse. It's just like somebody counting. I saw where somebody made a post on TikTok and somebody goes, you are 36. You don't look it. You look young. Yeah. What is wrong in looking old? What is wrong in looking your age? There are some certain statements people don't make. Yeah. So imagine if that lady don't understand, she will go to her room and start crying or indoors and start saying, oh, I'm 36, I'm not yet married. All these kind of things. Some people, they will even shame you. Don't mind them. Even in their closed doors, they are crying because of a man. And I look at them and laugh. It's a pity. It is. The moment we realize ourselves that we are more than what we assume to be in the society, the better for all of us.
Did you hear that? So it's important that we clock in on this. Thank you so much, Harriet Ijoma, for coming on this show today. So I'm just going to highlight few things from my own standpoint and from my own point of view. And the few things I want to highlight is I'm focusing on the women when it comes to domestic abuse. I'm focusing on the women because we have more cases that involve women. I'm not saying the men are exempted from domestic abuse or even physical abuse or any form of abuse, but the women are going through it a lot. And I'm also focusing on the women because we are way more than the kitchen. We are more than baby makers. We are more than anything the society has conditioned us to be. We are way more than that. And the moment you start clocking in on that, the best and the better for you. You know why? Because it's not just you. It's the next generation that we are passing it to. And we need to pass the right information to them. The information that you can be anything you want to be without any form of societal constraint. You can be whomever you want to be without anybody trying to put a cap on what you should achieve. Or if you achieve it up to here, it's okay now. So that man go fit see you marry. What do you mean by that? Success is not gender-based. So why are you putting a cap on the success that women are supposed to carry and achieve?
That's right.
So this is a message to you as a woman. Make sure you change your orientation. If it's still backward, we are moving on. You have to move alongside with us because we're moving on to take it to the next generation. You can't bring your crap from the past, your ideologies from the past, and we'll now go and carry it and give to the younger generation. Ain't that gonna happen? It ain't gonna happen, okay?
So, do you know the funny thing about this whole thing when it comes to patriarchy and capitalism? You find out that even men, when it comes to their sisters and their daughters, you know that they cannot tolerate this.
Of course.
You see, a man will tell you, don't, if that guy try that thing with things they don't even want you, things they can't take with their siblings or their daughters. You see men protecting their daughters. They know they use their children or their sisters. But when it comes to other people's daughters,
they don't mind.
That is when you know that patriarchy and misogyny, is a devil.
It's a devil indeed. Thank you so much. This is where we draw the curtain. We appreciate you for watching. Have a wonderful, fantastic day. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Harriet, for coming once again.
Thank you very much. Keep watching Serenity TV.
And that's on period. Bye.